Hey everybody, this is Katie Bonilla from Total Life Changes. What's up, Fitteani? I am on my way to work and I wanted to record a short training video about something that came up yesterday that Jackie and I spoke about and Dawn Donawa and I spoke about. And this is something that if you haven't encountered it in your business, you definitely will. And so hopefully this information will help you and you're definitely going to find it pertinent at some point in your TLC career and maybe in another business. But I wanted to talk about what happens when another client's rep contacts you for advice, product information, or coaching. It's really important in our business to make sure that you are maximizing your time, and especially when you are engaging in client-facing activities, so talking to people, coaching, pitching, building relationships, all those kinds of things. It always needs to have sort of an underlying purpose, right? So you always want to be genuine, and not every relationship will lead to a sale, but in the back of your mind, you should be thinking about how it's going to benefit you and your business and how you can present the opportunity to them and help them in a way that will bring you a monetary benefit. So, there's 4 things that you need to think about, because this will happen, right? Somebody's going to buy from their auntie and then they're going to, come ask you questions because they see you online all the time. Or they might have purchased tea a year ago and they used it one time, but they still have 3 bags and they just ran into you and now they're asking you all these questions. Okay, so what do you do? Because you don't want to be rude, you don't want to write them off, but how do you turn someone else's client inquiry into your sale? So 4 things you need to consider. Jackie brought up such an excellent point, and it's really important to think about this. She mentioned to me when I called her and said, hey, what do you do? I know what I do, but what do you do? She said, well, honestly, at this point, that's something you have to make sure you're finding out now. So, if you're an OG TLC rep, at the beginning, nobody had ever even heard of ISOT. We were telling people about it and we had to explain it because nobody had even seen it before. But we're 3 years deep in the US right now. The company is 16 years old. People are a lot more familiar with TLC than they used to be. And the likelihood that somebody has tried it already, or might have product on hand from someone else, or has at least seen it, or been sampled or something like that, is a lot higher than it used to be. So you need to make sure that when you're loading up your TLC gun and you're talking to people, whether they come to you or you come to them, one of the questions you should be asking them up front is, hey, have you ever tried the product? Because like I said, there's a higher likelihood now that they have tried it once, and I get that all the time. Well, people say, oh yeah, I got it from my friend a while ago, but it didn't work. I'll say, well, why didn't it work? And they say, well, I wasn't drinking it every day. I said, okay, well, here's my website, go get it and drink it every day. So that's the first thing you need to think about is, have they tried it already? And make sure that's one of the very upfront questions that you have. As soon as someone expresses interest in the product, ask them if they've ever tried it. Okay, then you can get it out of the way and you know what you're dealing with. So thank you, Jackie. There's 3 tactics that I use, or go-to moves, so when this happens, because like I said, you don't want to be wasting your time, right? But you always want to help, and you have the opportunity, like I said, to turn this inquiry into your sale or your client, right? If someone's coming to you, it means they're not getting the support they need, or they feel like they can't get the support they need from whoever they got it from. So it's an opportunity for you to be helpful and you to become the person that they're buying from. But you don't want to steal other people's clients, and you want to be respectful. So the first thing that I do is deflect. So I always try and just remove myself from the situation and help them. Say, hey, usually what happens is someone will contact me, this happens a lot. Someone will DM me, hey, I was just curious how you lost all this weight. And I'll say, oh, I use a product line called Total Life Changes. I drink the tea, I've used the resolution drops, a couple different things, but that's how I lost my weight. And they'll say, oh, I tried that. I tried the tea once. And I'll say, well, what happened? Why did you stop drinking the tea? The tea is amazing. That's what I use every day for the last 1.5 years. They'll say, oh, well, I wasn't drinking every day. I kept forgetting, blah, 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 blah. This is an opportunity for you because you asked that question. Well, here's my link. Why don't you order it again? And I'm happy to coach you through it, right? So you're telling them, here's a place that you can get it. I'm willing to be your resource, but the underlying, theme here is, if you're my client, I'm not just going to give you information when you already have tea in your closet. Okay. If it's someone who you don't know, because this also happens a lot, is some random person will contact you, go back to that first thing. Have you ever tried the product? If you know that, then you know what you're dealing with. Yes, I have resolution drops, but I haven't started them. Great, good for you. I use the resolution drops too. Why don't you do a Facebook search? Because there's a lot of customer support pages that you can go to get advice. I'm only currently coaching my own clients, but good luck to you. Okay, so you're wishing them well, you're directing them towards a resource because they obviously don't have what they need. You're being respectful, you're not trying to steal them, and you're giving them a place to go. Okay, so that's what you're going to do. You're going to deflect. The next move that I make, and this is usually after I deflect, I always heed this sort of advice. If someone's asking you, that means other people have the question, right? So if someone's coming to you and says, I don't know how the resolution drops work, or I don't know how to brew my tea, or how did you lose all this weight? That means other people are curious about it too. So take it as an opportunity to create a discussion. Okay, so I deflect, I create a discussion. I will go on Facebook or Instagram and create one or several posts related to the conversation that I had with this person. So if they're curious how I lost weight, I'll say, a lot of people ask me how I've lost all this weight. Here's the answer, and it's related to TLC with my link. What you can do to increase your visibility, answer that person's question and make sure that they're getting the information that they need. You're taking the advice and making it public, tag them. You know, they have the product, so it's not like they, don't want to be associated with something like that, and they can untag themselves if they want. But by tagging them, you're giving not only just your network all the information related to the question that they asked, but them and their network as well. So it's increasing visibility. You're getting their question answered, but you're also answering the question for a lot of other people who probably have the same question, okay? So you want to deflect, you want to discuss. The next thing is drop, okay? So some people just don't take the hint, like you're trying to be nice and you've answered their questions, you've done what you can to give them the information that they need, and they just keep on, oh, well, I have another question. Can you tell me this? Blah, 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 blah. Look, I don't get paid by the hour. I get paid by the sale. So unless you're going to buy some tea, I'm not going to spend 4 hours talking to you all day on the DMs or answer all these phone calls about how to brew the tea and when you should drink it and if you're allowed to have this kind of food. Like, go read the PDF that your rep should have sent you, right? So eventually you have to drop them because you really just can't waste your time. It's not smart. So at some point, if they do not respond to the resources that you've given them, and if they are not taking no for an answer, you just kind of need to say flat out, hey, look, I'm very busy. I have a lot of clients. I don't have time to coach you, and I'm sorry for that. Please go back to the person that sold you the product that you're inquiring about. Good luck to you, but lose my number, basically. So at some point you have to figure out your own way to just drop them. But for the most part, people respond really well to that deflection tactic. I turn a lot of it into a sale because I say, hey, I've lost 100 pounds with these products. I know exactly what you need to do. I'm happy to coach you and connect you with other people that you can relate to. Here's my link. As soon as you make an order, let's get going with that, okay? So those are 4 things you need to consider. Again, thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Dawn, for bringing this up. This is definitely something that comes up all the time, and it can be really difficult because you want to help people. And answering those questions for people can sometimes help you, especially if you're new. So, if you're in your first couple months with TLC, it might be worthwhile for you to take the time to have a discussion with someone else's client to figure out what things people might struggle with. Find out what they need to know, and then you go seek out the answers and help them. That'll help you learn and grow. But in general, like I said, we don't get paid by the hour. You do not want to spend tons of time coaching people. Understand what resources you have. There are one sheets for every product. The resolution drops have a PDF that explains the diet. So you don't have to be parroting back all this information. You can send these resources to your clients and to other people's clients even. And like I said, there is a lot of Facebook groups that are like customer support related that clients have just put together themselves to make sure they're maximizing the benefit of this product line, because the tea is amazing and everything. You're going to lose weight with it, but you can either lose a little bit of weight or a lot of weight depending on how you're doing it. So connecting them with other clients is a great way to do that. So I hope this was helpful. Good luck to everyone. Thank you so much.